Hey everyone, and welcome to English 102 Online. This is spring quarter. My name is Amber Lemire, and I'm really excited to be your instructor and your editor-in-chief this quarter, but more on that later. If you are watching this video, you are on the home page in Canvas in our course, or you access the weekly update from the calendar, the to-do list. Any of those ways is fine. There are lots of pathways to get around in this course and find what you need. Just take note that the weekly updates, these videos and the bullets below, are your home base for the course, a place to check in and make sure you know what's going on, what we need to be working on, what the deadlines are, and just a way to get centered and feel like you have your bearings in English 102. So just make sure you know how to get here and in a way that works best for you, and then build that into your rhythm by checking these updates regularly. Speaking of rhythms, every Monday before noon, or Tuesday if there's a holiday, I think there's one this quarter, I'll share an update like this for that given week. And there will almost always be a video. If not, it's because I have nothing to add, and I'll just write you a note and leave you a fun GIF or a picture or something like that. Below, there will be a highlighted line that says, here is the workflow for the week. And then underneath that, you'll get your deadlines and a bulleted list of what needs to be done with links to get to those things directly inside of Canvas. Your newest posts, so this week it's week 1, next week 2 will show up on top, and then week 3, and it stacks very much like a social media stream. So if you needed to find older posts, you could scroll down to see that. Here is a bit about me as we get started. You'll learn more about me in our journalist bios that are due this week, but I want to give you guys something while we're here in this space. So you can call me Amber, nothing fancy, just Amber. English 102 is the class that really inspired me to even want to be a teacher at the college level. I really enjoyed this class as a student. I like researching and learning all kinds of new things. And then I was a writing tutor at LCC, and I had so much fun working with different students on their projects and learning what they were researching. It was just such an enriching time in my life, and made me realize, oh, this is something that I'm into. When I had the opportunity to teach English 102, I saw my name on the schedule. It was just surreal. These days, I also teach classes like the Arts Magazine for our student-led publication, the Slough Review. And I primarily teach children's literature. If you need a humanities course, we're offering it this summer too. I have other passions and interests as a faculty member. I'm really excited about our campus garden and sustainability efforts, but English 102 was my original call to this work, and so this will always hold a really special place. It sounds cheesy, but in my heart. And I'm excited to get to know you guys through this experience. Maybe you've heard rumors about English 102 that you have to write a really long paper, and you do, but stick with me. So many writers are nervous about that rumor and just the project, and to me that's part of why I love teaching this class so much, because it's very rewarding to have a job where part of it is helping alleviate others' nerves and providing a system and a learning experience that helps you trade in that nervousness for a sense of pride in what you're going to accomplish. That alone is my first and foremost favorite thing about teaching this class. It's one of my personal goals, to get to the point that you feel proud or even surprised by what you were able to pull off. There is no pressure on you to give me that goal, but that's what motivates me. I really want to see you guys feel excited about what you're doing, and also that sense of accomplishment. That is what makes me feel accomplished as a teacher. Another thing that is so cool about English 102 and this learning experience is when writers get excited about reading what other people are writing about. And part of this is our process for defining topics and choosing what we're going to write about. But it's just neat to see that that something that someone else is writing about is something that you might want to share with your friends and family. I have this really extreme example of teaching this course in the past where a student wrote to another student saying, I'm in the delivery room right now with my wife and she's laboring to deliver our first child, and I read your article to her and they were debating the topic. It was very funny. You had to be there, but it demonstrates, I think, the hope that we can have for the fun that we might be able to enjoy. Not just doing our own work, but doing work in a community where we're sharing and exchanging and exposing each other to new ideas. I'm thinking about some other things that you might want to know about me. I've been teaching at the college for about 12 to 13 years. I've been working at LCC for 19 years this spring. I went to school here. I've been on this campus since I was 4 years old. My dad was a faculty member here. He taught in the welding department, and he actually, he passed away. He had taught at LCC for 25 years, and he died of cancer quite quickly and urgently, traumatically. And I share that not just to be personable with you guys, but to express that I've experienced my own dose of highs and lows in life. And I know that every quarter we're all going through our own stuff, whether that's the good parts of life or the really challenging parts. And so I try to let that shape the kind of faculty member that I like to be. I want to be supportive, compassionate, and flexible. Flexibility has become so much more important to me as I've developed in my life and learned just how much we carry as adults, doing all the different things that we're up to in this life. So I will do my best to be creative and come up with ways to know you best, to adapt to you, to be a guide, to support you along your learning journey. And you'll often see me sign off, or I try to express that I am rooting for you. And I think that phrase sums up where I'm coming from as a person and a faculty member. It's very, very cool to teach at a college, to get to know people, to hear their stories, to be a part of their journey, and to witness so many different life stories kind of unfolding in front of us. I hope you enjoy that too as you engage with your peers, and just know that college is a really special experience for many reasons, but that's a big one. I love that in my position I get to play this role in society, and I'm really grateful for my job. So just know that I bring my heart into this work and not just my mind, and I'm here for you guys, and I'm going to cherish these weeks together. And I just want to remind you that no matter what the rumor mill has told you, others have gone before you and they have succeeded and accomplished their goals in this class. And I just completely believe in you. And I ask you to believe in each other and to root for each other and to work together as much as we can to create more of a team environment so that we can feel less alone in the daily tasks and really enjoy watching things in tandem in relationship to each other. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. In the first bullet below, you'll see that you need to review the syllabus, which is pretty standard for a course. There's a hyperlink that'll take you directly there. Spend some time reviewing and reach out if you have any questions. You are learning online, so my recommendation is get outside, especially during spring quarter. It's good for you. And take a house tour. So what I mean by that is if you were going to be staying at a home for 10 to 11 weeks, you would walk around and look behind the doors and see where everything is stored. Do the same thing in this Canvas course. Click on all the links and see what you can get into and kind of what the lay of the land is. On the left-hand menu beneath home It says syllabus, projects, and resources. That's going to take you to a website I designed for the course. If you click on that, it's still embedded inside of Canvas for your convenience. Or you can click on the link below and that will take you into a separate tab. You can also just type in the address into any web browser. And I designed it that way so that if you're in this class and you're like sitting waiting for your dentist appointment and you want to think about your assignment upcoming, you can just read the prompt at any time without having to log in and do two-step verification and all of those hoops to jump through. So the address is www.lemire102.weebly.com. Lemire is Lemire. And almost all of the curriculum and the deadlines and everything is already posted there. I'm holding back kind of 4 weeks of expansion stuff that I'm improving based off of last quarter, but you don't need that until a handful of weeks from now. So just utilize that research as best you can. After the syllabus in the bulleted list below, you'll see that the first real due date is on Thursday. So by Thursday, hopefully you've got your bearings a little bit and you'll be ready to post your journalist bios. There's a link to instructions below and then a separate link that takes you to the board where you can share your work. By Sunday, which is your next bullet, I'd like you guys to reply to each other. Remember, we are rooting for each other. We're trying to create a team environment where we want others to succeed alongside us. So just focus on making connections and setting the tone, creating the kind of space that you want to come into and hopefully others do as well. The major project that we're doing this quarter sort of stems from our interests, our personal curiosities and passions. So that's another reason why that bio is such a good place for us to begin. And that covers what's due for the week ahead. There's a sneak peek if you keep reading. Okay, hold on. Okay, because like I said, you are working on one big project for most of this quarter, I've given you a sneak peek to next week, and that is for the Pitches project. You're soon going to find out a lot about why this class is called Exchangers Magazine, but let me give you a little preview to set up that Pitches project. You are a journalist now for Exchangers. You finished English 101, so you're hired. Exchangers has a very unique mission for our audience. We write and publish topics that are underdog or fresh things that our readers are not going to find in other places. And we also honor our unique journalists and their own curiosities and passions and individualism, which is going to make all of our articles more interesting and authentic. That's the energy that we're going to dive into together after we put our bios out there. So let's find, after we do that work, some unexpected and surprising problem solution arguments. More on that later. When you click on the Pitches project, you're going to see lots of videos and whatnot to help you further understand the Exchangers mission and maybe even some starting places to help you find your topic. And of course, I'm here, but I think it's exciting to talk about the agency that you guys get to have, so I want to sneak that into this welcoming video. Like I said earlier, there's a rhythm for the course. If something is due this quarter, it will be Tuesday, Thursday, or Sunday. So when you check the weekly updates, those are the dates that you're going to see. If that doesn't work for you, plan ahead and switch it to Monday, Wednesday. There is no way to create a perfect rhythm or calendar that works for every single student I'm ever going to have every quarter. So really, the rhythm is set up just to keep us paced. It's not about perfectionism. So I'll add to that. I'm not checking your timestamps. If I open up the assignment and your work is there, it's there. If it's not there, I say, it's not here. Where is it? Send it to me. And I try, like I said, to be flexible. That's why it says things are due by midnight-ish. You don't have to email to say, like, I'm 5 minutes late. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm not checking the timestamps. And if you do fall behind, if I get in there and mark something incomplete, then what I'm really looking for is communication and a plan. So an email that says, hey, Amber, I'm not going to be able to submit this, but I can get it done by tomorrow night. you don't have to say, I'm sorry. In fact, just don't. You don't need to be sorry. This is about you and your plans for success. And I don't feel harmed in any way by a little bit of late work. I understand that life happens. You also do not need to send me your doctor's note or any of that kind of information that is personal. That's your private life. If you want to share it and you want my help with formulating a plan for catching up, you need access to resources, you need someone to listen and help you figure out, what you could do next to support yourself through this season, I am here for you. And I have played that role many times in my different positions at the college. And so I feel like I can be a really solid resource for you. But it's really what you guys choose to invite me into, and just know that it's here, but it's not required. My computer died, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me on some of these transitions. I'm watching some notes, important things I need to convey to you. So a little more on that flexibility. If it's 3 days, I'm really not worried at all. If it's a week, I think that can be done, but I get a little bit nervous about your ability to stay caught up in the long run. So that's why conveying your plan to me for a little bit of approval is helpful. And then if it's any longer than that, we should definitely be chatting about maybe just some compromises that we could make together to help you achieve your goals, but still stay set up for success in the course. You'll be able to read a policy about this in the syllabus. It's like, first time, no big deal. Second time, you're making me nervous, but fine. Third time, I'm officially nervous, and I would like to have a meeting to make sure that, again, it's just about I've done this long enough that I want to make sure you have everything that you need to actually be successful, including all the information about the course and what's upcoming. One assignment that I can tell you just kind of as a blanket statement that I can't be as flexible about would be replies, because if we move on, there's really no point in having you do late ones, but I have options for making up. And if you reach out, and then the other one would be, the very last submission, because my grades are due to the college, and so I can't make adjustments there. That's a ways out. I'm really not worried about you guys. We'll have reminders later in the course, but these are just good things to share with you up front to indicate what kind of culture this is between you and I and the learning environment that we're creating together. And then one more thing about that kind of late work or falling behind is just, if you have work, post it, share it. Don't withhold it, because that indicates to me and to others that you are in progress, that you haven't completely fallen off the map. It's just a different expression. I know maybe that's uncomfortable because it's not done, but just put your stuff out there. I might even comment on it, and that might motivate you to keep going and to keep finishing up. All right, this naturally leads us to grading, and it's in the syllabus, but I like this face-to-face interaction as well. So this class is worth 100 points. The beginning of the course, for a lot of the ways through this first third or half, is going to be do equals earn, which means if you do it, you're likely going to earn the credit for it. I'm not doing a bunch of qualitative, nitpicky stuff. I'm giving you credit for doing and submitting and sharing and going through the process. English 102 learning outcomes talk about writing as a process and research as a process. So merely participating in that process is valuable and worth rewarding with credit. So that's what you'll see is a lot of do earn. And I will also give you comments. So if you're like, I want to know how I'm doing qualitatively, that will be coming to you. The two places where qualitative grading is going to dramatically impact your final grade for the course would be the source evaluations, so evaluating your research, and then the final expanded article copy. And there will be a lot of prep work leading up to that, so when it gets graded qualitatively, you are at an advantage to do as well as you are hoping to. And we'll talk about that more toward the second half of the quarter, but for now, it's just do earn 100 points, which means that if you lose, we'll say lose a point or two, then you know, okay, 2 points, max grade you can earn, 98. 98%. 10 points, max grade you can earn, 90%. And that makes it kind of a simple system for you to follow along. The last thing that I want to say is, if I haven't said it already, if you have any questions, reach out. Like I said, I'd love to get to know you guys, and I'll get to know you through the discussions and the projects as well, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Below, like I said, this is kind of like a social media post. You can click the heart. That doesn't mean you like my video. I'm not an influencer. I don't care about that. It means you're here. You're a beating heart, real person, and you watched the video. Then if you have any questions that you think would benefit the whole group, put them in the comments below. You'll pop up as anonymous, but if I see it, I'll reply to it. If you have something more private that's unique or specific to you, send me a message. You can use the course website, you can use the Canvas inbox, or you can use LCC email, alemire@lowercolumbia.edu. I hope that you guys had an amazing weekend and that you enjoy your first week back to spring quarter. I really want you to have a fond memory of this course and learning experience. And like I said before, the goal is that you finish feeling proud of yourself, surprised, accomplished, and like you've created something you might want to share with others, or at least discovered that you are capable of, or have committed yourself to a piece of writing worth sharing. That is such a powerful thing to walk away with, greater than any grade or transcript or formality. So looking forward to it. I'll see you guys soon.